Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney and I have another pattern list for you today. So if you guys are following along with the channel, you know that we are in the middle of coat month. I have deemed January coat making month and I'm making a lot of coats. Mostly for my mental health, just because that is what my brain wants to make right now. It is the perfect time of year. Someone asked me, where are you gonna wear all of these coats? And to be honest, it actually makes sense. So really one of the main, I'm using this term very loosely, social events of my life right now is walking around my neighborhood with my husband, because our neighbors are out. You know, everyone is trying to be outside as much as possible. Sorry, I have a hair in my lipstick. Here we go. Trying to be outside as much as possible. I mean, we're all, right? It's like, oh, and I also took out one of my earrings and didn't put it back in. This is not a style choice. I just totally forgot to put my other, I was talking to my sister on the phone and forgot to put my other earring back in. Disregard. But you know, we go out and we walk at lunch, usually during the work week, and then after work as well. Our neighbors are out doing the same thing because so many people are working from home and everyone's just trying to get out. So we see and talk to neighbors when we're out on our walks. So I've just started wearing my new coats on our walks, you know, where it's not like we're out running. So I don't really need active wear per se. I just need to be warm. I equate it to, this is what I would wear if I were walking around Paris right now. Or New York City, or wherever. You know, it's all a mind game. So yes, so I said, yeah, it's kind of like a fashion show every day. In fact, people have commented like, oh my gosh, I love your, you know, like whatever. So now I feel like it's become my thing. Now I'm the crazy neighbor that dresses up for her daily walks with her husband. So that is where these coats, so actually it makes sense. This is really the only thing people are seeing me in right now. You know, I'm going to the grocery store, but that, you know, I've got a mask over my face. People can't see me. But when I'm outside walking with my husband, you can see me. So there you go. So that is why, I don't know, maybe subconsciously why I'm really wanting to make coats. But anyway, you know, I do know a lot of people are in the southern hemisphere and they don't have the need for coats right now, or people that just live in more warmer tropical areas that just never need coats. So I kind of wanted to mix things up a little bit this month so it wasn't completely coat heavy. I didn't want to completely ostracize, you know, people that aren't interested in making coats, or maybe you're just not interested in making coats. Maybe you'd rather buy them. That's fine too. So I thought I would sprinkle in some regular type of videos in there as well. So on Friday, I'll have my next coat, which is, I made Gertie's Charm Pattern Swing Coat, which is a pattern that's only available through her Patreon. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So good. And I had some extra fabric, and so I made a matching pencil skirt. So it's a very Jackie O / Mrs. Maisel outfit. But I love it. Anyway, so that will be coming to you on Friday. So today I wanted to go through my current top 10 winter sewing patterns. So if you're still sewing for winter, I mean, in our area, winter usually lasts until at least May. Although we've had a very mild winter so far, so who knows what, you know, global warming and all that, who knows what the rest of the winter is going to look like. But typically it's into April, beginning of May before we start getting much warmer weather. So I will probably still be sewing. I'll start sewing some transitional stuff probably into February, beginning of March, just because I start getting tired of making winter stuff and I'm ready to move on. The same thing happens at the end of summer as well, and my eyeball just totally dried out on me. Anyway, so these are my top 10 patterns that I have been wearing currently. So, you know, there are so many great patterns out there, and there's actually quite a few that I still really want to make this winter that I've not had a chance to get to quite yet. But these are just my top 10 that I'm currently wearing a lot of right now. Also, for my very last pattern, it is a new one that the release date is today, and I was a pattern tester for it, so I will wait and do that one last, but it's a new itch to stitch pattern, and it is so, I was surprised, not surprised that I love the pattern, because I really love all of Kenneth's stuff, itch to stitches things, but I was really surprised how much I loved this particular pattern. So yeah, that'll be the last thing that we talk about. All right, I am going to post pictures of myself. I've done a video like this before and people were like, well, can you show us pictures of what you've made in them? And I'm gonna try and do that this time. Now, I do have, some of these are a little bit older and I'm gonna see if I still have pictures of me in them. I have a serious storage issue with my photos and videos and stuff like that. I'm trying to figure out what's the best thing for me. So I have to delete a lot of things. So I don't keep a lot of backlog of like my twirls and pictures and stuff for stuff from the channel. So if I can find things, I will post pictures. All right, so we're gonna go module style. Start with toppers, and then we're gonna go to bottoms, and then I'm gonna do a quick dress. I do have one dress in here, and then we're gonna end up with tops, because the one I wanna talk the most about is the last top, and it's a good one. All right, so the first thing is the closet core pattern, pattern number 1. The closet core pattern, I also have this sitting here. Let me move my computer. Pattern 1 is the Closet Core Patterns Kelly Anorak. So I have made this 3 times, I think. I love this pattern. And I wear this one, if it's a super cold day outside and we're doing our walks, I wear this coat. Which is surprising to me because, you know, it is just a regular Anorak, and the first one I made, it was before the lining expansion pack had come out, and it's nice. I did interline everything with flannel to make it a little bit warmer, but it's not like a super, super warm coat. But when I made this one, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I'm trying to ignore, I got a hair in my lipstick and it's driving me nuts. And I feel like I'm just getting lipstick everywhere. Anyway, when they released their expansion pack for the lining, I was so interested in that I decided I wanted to make myself another one. And for this one, I've got it right here with me. I decided I had this beautiful, this is a Liberty Tonalon, this lining right here. I decided I wanted to try quilting it to thinsul it, and I did. And I just did straight quilting lines. Like, there's no fancy quilting in this at all. It is literally lines of quilting that are like 1.5 inches apart. And I quilted the Tonalon to the thinsulet, and then sewed the lining like you would regularly. Now, because this is a cotton, obviously I did the sleeves in a Bimberg rayon so they'd be slick so I can easily get it on, and it works perfectly. So I have the fun lining that you can see on the coat, and then the sleeves obviously needed to be slick in order for me to easily get it on and off over sweaters and sweatshirts and all that kind of stuff. And it works fantastic. Now, someone had said that they had tried to buy some thinsulet. I got mine online from Vogue Fabrics here in the US, and they had said that they had tried to order 3 yards of it, and shipping was going to be like over $40 because it was so heavy, which is really weird because, I mean, it's lofty, but it's no loftier than like cotton, like quilt batting. So I don't, yeah, that was crazy to me. Now, I did not pay that much for my thinsulet, and I've had mine for quite a while. I have just a little bit left. Maybe I could do like a small jacket with. But yeah, I'm really impressed with how warm it makes this coat, because the body of this is just a cotton twill that I got from Joann's. And I used the Closet Core Patterns hardware kit for this, so it came with the drawstring and all of the snaps and eyelets, because there's eyelets for the waist here. But oh my gosh, this coat gets worn more than any other coat in my wardrobe. But anyway, I will pop a picture of me in it if I can. So yeah, that's the Closet Core Pattern Kelly Anorak with the lining expansion. And they may include the lining with the pattern now. I'm not sure if that's still a separate expansion pattern or not, or what the deal is. I literally bought the original pattern when it first came out, and right when that lining pattern came out, it was much cheaper, but I bought that expansion pattern right when it came out too. So I've had those in my stash. And again, that's my 3rd one I've made. I've made 2 unlined ones, one for myself, one for my daughter, and then I've made this lined one. So it's a really good one. All right, the next coat pattern is the Waffle Patterns Bamboo Coat, and you guys just saw me making this on the channel. I love this coat so much. It is oversized, but not so boxy. I don't feel like it overwhelms my frame. Like it gives that feel of an oversized classic coat without overwhelming my frame. Now, the downside to Waffle Patterns is they have a very small size range, like on both ends. It's not they don't have very many sizes at all, which is a big bummer. And hopefully, you know, I feel like a lot of independent patterns are starting to expand all of their size ranges. So, you know, I have no idea what her plan, you know, Waffle Patterns plans are, but, you know, hopefully, fingers crossed that she may be doing that here in the future as well, because I am very impressed with her drafting. Everything went together really well. I love the classic lines of this coat. I love the welt pocket. Well, I guess they'd be considered a welt pocket. The welt pocket, I think they just look very professional. I put bound buttonholes in mine. So it's a very classic coat that it just went together really well, and I love wearing it. You know, I feel put together, it's easy to throw on. It's not as warm as my Kelly Anorak, but it's warm enough. You know, again, we've been having some more milder days, like in the 40s, low 40s. It's perfect for that. I really want to make a matching hat, and I probably just have enough yarn to make a matching hat. So my soundtrack sweater that I made, the orange one that has the purple and the yoke, are the colors of that coat. And I have leftover yarn from both of those, so I thought it might be really fun to do a color work hat. And I kind of want to find another pattern that just uses 2 colors to make a hat to go with that coat. I think that would be really good. And I could get more yarn, I guess, if I wanted to do a matching scarf of some sort or a cowl or something. But yeah, I really love that coat, and it is, yeah, been worn up quite a few times. So yeah, it's a good one. Okay. Coat or topper number 3 is the Style Arc Como cardigan. I have made this one twice. Most recently, it was in my work from home module sew along, and I love this thing. It is oversized. Is it extremely flattering? No, probably not, because it is so oversized, but oh my gosh, it is the perfect thing for at home right now. You know, when there's a little chill in the air, I work in my basement, my sewing studio is in the basement of my house, it can get chilly down here. It is just the perfect thing to throw on as just another little layer, especially around the house. And it's great when you just need to like run outside to like go get the mail, or we have a bird feeder that we really enjoy in our backyard. If I just need to run out and refill the bird feeder real quick, you know, things that just involve, you know, not necessarily me being outside for a long time, but just enough for me to just run outside and do something real quick, bringing wood into the house for the fires, that kind of thing. It's just been a really big workhorse in my workhorse pattern in my wardrobe. I've got a kind of a tie-dyed one that I made, oh, probably about this time last year. Maybe 2 years ago. That may have been 2 years. Yeah, I bet that was 2 years ago. And God, time goes fast. And then my olive green one that is definitely, it gets worn more just because it goes with more. But I really love my tie-dyed version too. I think that's a lot of fun, and it's great with white for the springtime. Number 4. Okay, this one was a surprise to me, but I wanted to put it on here. Again, these are my top 10 patterns that I'm just wearing a ton. And it is my McCall's 8007 Orange Flares. Who knew that I would have so much to wear with orange flares in my wardrobe? But oh, I love these pants so much. I find that, you know, they're very fitted in the waist and hips, and then they are huge exaggerated flare at the bottom. But because I've made them long, so I always wear them with like a heeled boot or something with a little bit of height, I feel like they give me height. They give me a vertical line. And I feel like that real exaggerated hem balances out my hips and gives me a little bit more. Actually, yeah, so it balances more out like my hips and my bust, really, to make me more of a balanced figure, if that makes sense, because my hips and bust are so different. I mean, my hip measurement is smaller than my full bust measurement by like 1.5 inches. So anyway, I think that is, they've been really good for that. And since I've been sewing in my color palette over the past year, I have like quite a few tops that go with orange pants, oddly enough, because everything kind of goes together in that wardrobe. And actually this sweater, this is a thrifted sweater I'm wearing today, but for a monochromatic look, I could totally, it's a very similar color to this, and so that makes it really easy to wear that as well. So that was kind of a surprise for me. The next one, I just want this hair out of my lipstick. Oh, I got it. Yes. Okay. The next one is McCall's 5894, which are my Palmer Pletch jeans that I made, and I did the sew along for back in the fall. It was before my coat sew along, I think. Wasn't it? Or was there a shirt dress in there? I can't remember the order now. Anyway, it is more of a straight, kind of a wider leg jean. And I have just found that has been, I have hardly worn my skinny jeans at all this winter, which is very interesting. They're comfortable. I have a very comfortable pair of skinny jeans that are the Mountain View pull-on jeans that I have worn to death, but I just have not been reaching for them at all this winter. I'm just really enjoying the new silhouettes. And the straighter legged, my Liana stretch jeans are also a straighter leg, so I reach for those occasionally. But I'm reaching for these jeans probably more than anything else, which is very interesting and kind of fun to play around with a new silhouette. But I find them to be very comfortable. They have shrunk up a little bit in the wash lengthwise, which isn't awful. I just can't wear them with a heel anymore. They're too short for a heel, but they're perfect for a flat, which honestly in my day-to-day life is probably more practical than anything with a heel. So I feel like maybe I've lost a little bit of that, oh, your legs look so long. It's just crazy. I washed that yardage twice before I cut into jeans. I dry my jeans though. I don't like the way jeans feel when they haven't been dried in a dryer. I feel like they're just kind of stiff and crinkly. Maybe I just need to let them air dry and then throw them in the dryer for just a minute to soften them up a little bit. Maybe that's what I should start doing. Anyway, they have shrunk up in the length a little bit, but I still am wearing them a ton. I just really love also fitted through the hips, and then the leg just gets wider, and I just am finding that a very fun silhouette to be wearing, and I've been wearing them a ton with a whole bunch of different tops. And then my last pair of pants I have on here are the Itch to Stitch Fortuna pants and joggers. This is from her book, So Beautiful. The pattern only comes in the book, but I made the joggers, but then when I remade everything to be a little bit more winter appropriate, I made the wide leg pants. And oh my gosh, I made them in a ponte, kind of a wine colored ponte. I wear these so much because they feel like sweatpants and yet they look like a nice wide leg pant. Now they do have a drawstring in them, which makes them look a little bit more sweatpant-ish, but I tuck sweaters. I wear sweaters with these, do a little half tuck into the sweaters. I wear these with tennis shoes just as much as I will wear them with like I love them with my orange suede loafers. I think that I love that orange with that wine. That's a really fun, I've been having a lot of fun with that color combination this fall and winter. But yeah, any of my loafer shoes I think look really good with them as well and dress them up a little bit. They look good with like a little jacket thrown over them. I really, really have been wearing those pants a ton. And again, they're very, very comfortable to wear. So the whole secret pajama thing. So those have been a big workhorse as well. Okay, for the dress, my B6702 shirt dress. Now this is another one that I did the sew along for. It's kind of my how to sew a button-up shirt or shirt dress. You know, it's basically the same steps. It's just a different hem, pretty much. I have been wearing this dress a ton. I like wearing it in more casual settings. You know, it's very, it's a cotton lawn, but it's super easy to layer. So I've been throwing it on over tights. Again, we haven't had like a really, really cold winter yet. So yeah, that is still hanging tough in my closet. And it's the dress that I grab almost all of the time. I also really want to try and knit maybe a couple of sweaters that are cropped that I can wear over that dress, where you have like the collar peeking out a little bit. Yeah, I just bought some yarn. If you watched my haul, my post-Christmas sales haul, I bought some kind of a rust-colored, not rust, it's more of a brick red yarn to make myself a sweater. And I want to do something a little bit more cropped that I can wear over that dress, so because it's a full skirt, so I need the sweater to kind of hit at my waist. Anyway, I think that would be a really cute look as well. I just need a few cropped sweaters in my wardrobe. My goodness, excuse me, to make that happen. There must be dust I'm throwing up in here or something. Woo. Okay, so let's move on to tops. So one top that I've been wearing a lot, and I own a couple of these in my wardrobe and probably could do with a few more, to be honest, is the Itch to Stitch Hepburn turtleneck. I love this as a layering pleat piece. I love to wear it by itself. I'm just a real fan of, there goes Gidget, of the turtleneck right now. And technically, because I have a large bust, I shouldn't necessarily be wearing turtlenecks because it's too much covered through here. But one of my viewers said, you know, whenever she wears a turtleneck, she'll just throw on a long necklace that'll create that V line. And that, you know, helps her get away with it a little bit. And she's right. I think that that really does help kind of break things up through there and kind of create that V line and still be able to wear a warm turtleneck. But I like them layered underneath things, as well as being worn just standalone. So they, again, look good with all the jeans. They keep me warm, you know, because my chest does get cold. I get cold in the winter. So anyway. It's just a great base layer or standalone layer. It's fitted without being overly fitted. I did size up one size when I make my Hepburns because it's more of a fitted turtleneck. So instead of an 8, I make a 10 in that one. But yeah, it works just great wearing a standalone or underneath things. Next is the Liesl & Co. Classic Shirt. I made mine in that brown, what is it, a rayon, I think it's a rayon nylon blend fabric. Oh my gosh, I'm wearing that thing a ton. Chocolate brown is my best dark neutral, and so it's just getting worn over things, under things, by itself. It's getting a lot of wear, and that's a great shirt pattern. I really want to play around with that one a little bit more as well, making it a few different fabrics. Yeah, I think I need a linen one for spring. And you all know I do have quite the linen stash. I kind of stocked up when Fabric Store was having their sales at the end of the season last year. So yeah, I think that is a great one. And it's just a classic piece. You know, there's just a million ways you can style that. And in the warmer weather, I love styling that over like a button-up shirt over dresses and tying it at the waist, or even tying it at the waist with higher waist pants and shorts. It's just a lot of fun to play around with a good button-up shirt. And that is definitely my pattern of the moment. All right, now we are to pattern number 10. Okay, so this is the newest Itch to Stitch pattern, and it is the Llama sweatshirt or hoodie. I can't remember how she's classifying that. It comes, it's a gorgeous princess line raglan sleeve sweatshirt pattern. You can make it with a hood, you can make it with a cowl, you can make regular cuffs on it, or if you like the cuffs that go over your hands with the thumb hole, it has that option as well. It comes with a regular bust front or a full bust front. So I was a pattern tester for this. Today, the pattern is being released today, and I want to show you my version. When I was asked if I wanted to test this one, when the call out went for that, I was kind of going back and forth. I love testing for Itch to Stitch. I just really love their pattern company. I love Kenneth, and I really like helping and supporting that pattern company, among others, but Itch to Stitch is one of the ones I really enjoy testing for. I had the time to do it, but I was kind of like, you know, it's a sweatshirt. And to be honest, I wear sweatshirts. Of course, you know, everyone wears sweatshirts, but sweatshirts just aren't flattering on me because I have a large bust. So sweatshirts just fall off my bust. Now, does that keep me from wearing them? No. There's quite a few times, you know, I've got sweatshirts in my closet that I've made even fairly recently that I'll wear just because they're functional. So I was kind of like, you know, do I need another sweatshirt pattern? But it looked interesting. There were some interesting design lines and style lines. I'm like, well, I'll go ahead. You know, I think I've got some stuff in my scrap bin, actually, that I can play around with and get this test out. And it shouldn't take me very long, and I could definitely help out. So I made the sweatshirt. Turns out I love this thing. This was such a surprise to me. This might be, because this pattern calls for low stretch knits. So it's, you know, your sweatshirt fleeces. You can use French terries, but you know, a lot of times sweatshirt fleeces have less stretch. They're just not as stretchy as like a French terry, for instance. And those are really the ones that can make me look very boxy because they also those types of fabrics don't have drape usually, so they'll just stand off my boobs, usually making me look larger than I am. Again, they're functional, we'll just go with it. But with the style lines of this sweatshirt, she has managed to make a flattering sweatshirt. So you will notice I have used leftovers. This is my daughter's dress that I made for our family pictures. This is a French terry. And then this is just a regular sweatshirting fleece. I made actually a sweatshirt back in March with it. It was a Minerva fabric. It's also got a cowl on it. It's a good dog walking sweatshirt. It's got little pockets. It's the Sadie. I made the Sadie Seamwork sweatshirt out of it. It's not super flattering, but it's very functional. It's got the pockets in there. It's great for dog walking. I love it in the spring, just for that reason. And then I've also made with some scraps, made my daughter a cropped sweatshirt out of it. Also, I made those back in March. It was a McCall's pattern, that cropped sweatshirt, and it's got the lacing up the front. And I had just enough left over to eke out the sleeves. I mean, I was pattern Tetrising like you would not believe. And then the body, and then the back, the yoke, and the back of the sweatshirt I was able to get out of the dark green. I was barely able to get this cowl out of the printed fabric. And then I used some, actually I have a Hepburn out of this merino nylon blend jersey. And it goes perfectly with this sweatshirt fabric. In fact, I used this as an accent when I made my last sweatshirt for this. But it's got pockets that are hidden here in this front little inseam, and I had to line those. I lined those with the merino as well because you want a lighter weight fabric on one side of those. And then the bottom band is also the merino. I just actually washed this because I got dinner all over the front of it. I did pictures in this and then kept it on because it's so cozy. And then for the drawstring here, I had just enough of this like lilac-y, dusty pink kind of color, this velvet ribbon that goes with this kind of pink here in the sweatshirt that I think, you know, it just adds this nice little detail. This isn't a great color for me, but with the green is a good color. So I think it really pulls off just a really flattering sweatshirt. I feel like it gives me, I mean, it's oversized because sweatshirts are oversized, but it gives waist definition a little bit and it hugs my body. I say hugs because it's still a sweatshirt. It's not like touching me, but it gives me a shape. I told Kenneth, this is like a unicorn of a pattern. It actually makes a large bust look good. And someone else commented that they had an H bust and they were also testing and they're like, I know, like I agree. This is like the first time ever that I've had a sweatshirt that doesn't like make me look 20 pounds heavier because it hangs off my boobs. Such a good pattern. So it's being released today. I will show, right now, I will show video of me actually in it moving around. It was very windy when we were filming this, but I think this is gonna be a great sweatshirt wearing with all of the above that I've mentioned. You know, my jeans, my Fortuna pants, leggings. I don't wear leggings a ton, but when I am, you know, working out, I will, and this can definitely go work out, but it also can be a cute sweatshirt just to wear for whenever. I love this. I love this so much, and it's so cozy. So I have a feeling, you know, I've just finished this one, but I've already worn it a couple of times. It's already been washed twice, which is actually a big no-no for me because I don't want to get anything on things before I've shown them on the channel, but I just couldn't help myself. It was just so cozy. We did have a really nasty weekend this weekend, weather-wise, and I was just inside. My husband built a fire both days of the week, and, you know, I did a lot of knitting, I did some sewing, and just being cuddled up in this was just amazing. I love you know, the cowl was just so nice and warm, and now my daughter wants one with the hood, and she's very interested in the thumb holes as well. So I may make the other version for her as soon as I don't think I've got any other sweatshirting. Well, maybe I do that would be good for her. I'll have to look through my stash of things that might be better colors for her. But oh my gosh, love this so much. So this is the new newest pattern. Again, it just went on sale today, so it is on sale at the moment. I do have an affiliate link for it down below. Any of the patterns, actually, they're down below that I have affiliate links for, which I think are just the Itch to Stitch patterns. But I do note that. That just means it doesn't cost you extra. I just get a little commission off of it when you do buy the pattern from that website. And yeah, that's just want to be upfront about that and keep that in the upfront. But anyway, that is all I have for today. So those are my top 10 most worn patterns, favorite patterns for winter right now that I'm just wearing a ton of. So I hope this has been helpful for you if you're kind of trying to decide what you want to sew next, if you're wanting to try some new patterns and all that kind of stuff. Let's see, Friday I'll be back with my swing coat, and I'll be talking all about that. And I have a little, I use a very large profile houndstooth for that jacket, and so I've done a little tutorial on print matching for that one. So that will all be up on Friday, and then Sunday we have another B6385, is that right? 6385? The coat sew along we're currently working on. It'll be part 6, I believe, that goes up on Sunday. All right, guys, that's all I have for today. I hope you have enjoyed this one, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.